Sorry, I I left my microphone dead. I hope my system sound actually picked this up. Let me see what you've heard and what you haven't. Totally silent on this end. Can you hear me now? There I am. Okay. Thanks. I'll start again. So you've heard about the Trump administration trying to cut but food stamps for close to 10% of the recipients, 9%, I guess, actually. 3.1 million people. And, okay, the Department of Agriculture has proposed these cuts and looking for comments, okay, public comments. Their rationale for the cuts is that it's a way of combating fraud. It's a way of combating fraud. Well, there's an article about this that appeared in. Sorry, let me get this done in the right way. There's an article about this that appeared in Common Dreams, and it was written by Jake Johnson. I'm now going to share the article. Jake Johnson is a staff writer, okay, at Common Dreams. And over a period of time, we have covered a good bit of his stuff. And he's always good. I changed the resolution there to help you see it. Uh, so I might get myself out of the way. Senator Sanders on Thursday led a coalition of nearly 140 House and Senate Democrats in calling on the Trump administration to rescind its proposed rule to slash food stamp eligibility, warning that millions of families will go hungry if the policy takes effect. And there's a quote from a letter that was written by Bernie and by the members of Congress who joined him. And a quote from it says, in a nation where the three wealthiest people own more wealth than the bottom half, increasing the barriers for hungry families is unconscionable. Unquote. If enacted, the Trump administration's own analysis of this rule estimates that 3.1 million people, nearly 9% of the recipients of SNAP, would lose their benefits. No one should go hungry in the United States of America. And Sanders told The Guardian on Thursday that President Trump's effort to slash SNAP for millions of low income Americans after cutting taxes for the rich shows the U.S. is rapidly moving towards a system of oligarchy where political decisions in Washington enrich the wealthy while devastating the poor. But President Trump and the billionaires in his administration, after giving away over $1 trillion in tax cuts to mainly the rich and large corporations, are now trying to strip nutrition assistance from more than 3 million people, Sanders said. Quote again, at a time when 40% of families can't afford a $400 emergency and 13 million children live in poverty, this is an immoral and obscene decision. A letter from congressional Democrats comes 2 weeks after Trump's The Department of Agriculture unveiled a rule that would end automatic food stamp eligibility for people receiving other forms of federal assistance. The Trump administration presented its proposal open for public comment and there's a link so you can go and you can comment as an effort to root out fraud. But lawmakers disputed that rationale in their letter to Sonny Perdue, the Secretary of Agriculture. They said, okay, the USDA erroneously asserts higher income individuals take advantage of SNAP benefits. In reality, fraud is virtually non existent in this program. Just 0.2% of benefits go to households with net incomes above the poverty line. In other words, the mistakes are 0.2% of benefits. Further, there are many more people who qualify for SNAP that are not enrolled in the program, unquote. And the lawmakers continued by saying, quote, okay, that USDA resources would be better spent focusing on increasing participation among all who are eligible rather than trying to limit participation among people who are already struggling. A number of the presidential candidates on the Democratic side signed the letter, including Senators Warren, Cory Booker, Kamala Harris, Amy Klobuchar, and Kirsten Gillibrand. The article is silent about whether Tulsi Gabbard signed the letter. I suspect, though, that she did. The full letter is reprinted in the article, so I will let you read that when you access it. I just thought that this part was very significant. A recent study from the Urban Institute found the average cost of a low income meal was 27% higher than the maximum SNAP benefit. In order to cover the cost of food, the USDA would need to increase the average benefit by about $46.50 per person per month. In addition, the USDA's estimate of how much low income families should spend on food relies on unrealistic assumptions of food access and the amount of time that low income families have available to prepare their meals. Okay. So, in other words, even the program as it is all screwed up. And the idea that there's fraud in the program, okay, is non existent. And the program is failing us now. What Trump proposes to do is to make it worse. It's just another example of the cruelty, the continuing cruelty of this administration. Its willingness to hurt people who are poor, its willingness to hurt people who are middle class, its willingness to hurt people who are in any class, except for those people who tend to give to the Republican Party. And it's not even for all of them. The policies of the Trump administration seem to be an example of that crony capitalism but crowned with a trend towards increasing oligarchy. And as I streamed just yesterday, also fascism. So, on that sad note, I'm going to end this stream. And in a few minutes, I'll go on to my third stream of the night, which will be on a little lighter note. And that note is the idea that the ideology of and the program of neoliberalism has met its match in China. So I'll be seeing you in just a few minutes to talk about that. So once again, before I leave, but please take a look at the link to my Patreon page, and please also share, like, and subscribe to this video, both on Facebook and when it appears in my YouTube channel. Thank you.